Hey everyone, it's Mr. Flying Pig HD here with a little video for you. Conor McGregor has been pulled from UFC 200 and the flagship event coming up, the hugest event in their history supposedly to mark their 200th pay-per-view. And it was supposed to be the biggest event, as I say, in the company's history. So to lose their biggest star from that event seems absolutely crazy. But the UFC have just confirmed it. If you're watching this video, it's probably about 2 AM UK time. I found this out about 1:30 AM, just cruising the internet late at night. And I had to make a video on it because I'm a huge fan of the UFC, huge fan of Conor McGregor. Followed Conor McGregor's rise and meteoric rise, really, from when he first entered the UFC, his first fight against Marcus Brimage, all the way up to his loss against Nate Diaz recently. So it's been one heck of a roller coaster. The man's got a lot of eyes on the sport. I mean, there's a lot of people I know that don't watch the UFC, don't follow mixed martial arts whatsoever, but fans of Conor McGregor and tune in to watch Conor McGregor fight. So he's that sort of a character, he's that sort of a personality that he's managed to do that. And so for him to pull out of UFC 200 or to be pulled out of UFC 200 by the UFC is just absolutely crazy. I don't understand it. The only thing I can think of is that him and Dana White, Lorenzo Fertitta, etc., have not been able to agree terms financially, because what they're claiming is he's not agreed to fulfill his media obligations leading up to the fight, which to me seems like seems pretty crazy. I think in the past they've allowed certain fighters to not do that so much, and Conor McGregor, of course, he can sell the event based on his personality and his trash talk and the build-up and all that kind of thing alone. So, yeah, that's a big loss. I can see why they fall out about that. But really, I think it's down to money. I think Conor McGregor said, I want 10 million for this fight. If you don't give me that, then I'm not freaking fighting. And he's got a lot of power, does Conor McGregor. It's like, a lot of people say he should never be bigger than the organisation. Certainly with, football, Manchester United, Alex Ferguson, the player was never bigger than the team. But this is a bit different. You're talking about a man who has I don't know this, but I think he may have a bigger following than the UFC does across social media, or at least almost as big as, and for one individual to do that, that's pretty unbelievable. He would have brought a lot of money into the organisation for this particular event, UFC 200, the biggest event in their history. But now it looks like it's not going to happen. I mean, Nate Diaz has responded to Conor McGregor's tweet earlier saying, well, my work here is done. I'm retiring also. His coffers are still full from the last fight. But it's a fight that everybody wanted to see. What does this mean for the UFC as well? Because I don't think Nate Diaz can headline the card now, simply based on the fact that it's just him on his own, unless he's going to fight Nick Diaz or something, and that would be pretty awesome. But we're saving that one for Stockton 209, UFC 209, surely, if anybody knows what I'm on about. But you see, it's just an interesting thing that's happened tonight. I had to make a little video about it because it's very strange. What do you guys think has happened behind the scenes here? To me, it's just a monetary misunderstanding, or they've fallen out about the finances behind the fight. That's the only thing I can think of. And Conor McGregor has the ball firmly in his court ready. The UFC cutting off their nose to spite their face really on this one, stamping their authority down, saying, no, we've got to do it our way. And that is kind of the right thing to do. But at the same time, they're going to lose out in the long run. It's like the BBC getting rid of Jeremy Clarkson, It's only going to hurt them in the long run. And I think Conor McGregor, he could go anywhere. He could set up his own organisation. He could just be an independent entity like a Floyd Mayweather or something and just say, I'm fighting this guy on this night. Here's the pay-per-view code. Go on there, buy the event. And he'd make shitloads of money just doing that himself that way. He's got that ability to do that now. He has that worldwide fame, notoriety. He is the notorious Conor McGregor, so I wouldn't put it past him. Also, there's organisations like Bellator, etc., who would, step over their own granny to get Conor McGregor signed up there and probably pay him a ridiculous amount of money, more than the UFC, because you're going to make your company by doing that. If you can get a star on board like Conor McGregor, you're going to make your company. So the UFC, in my opinion, they should have perhaps pandered and allowed a few sort of exceptions to Conor McGregor in this instance, because, as I say, they've cut off their own nose to spite their face here. And it's only the fans that are losing out as well. The fans aren't going to see that rematch now. Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz at UFC 200. What are they going to do for this card? It already wasn't looking fantastic. People can compare it to UFC 100. I thought that was brilliant. Dan Henderson, Michael Bisping, and then Brock Lesnar, Frank Mir on the card, all these. That was a ridiculous card. This card didn't look as good, even with Conor McGregor on it. Now you take Conor McGregor off it, looks like a pile of cash. So there we have it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about it if you follow MMA. I know this is a football channel primarily, but I am big into the old MMA. So if you are, please do get comments and let me know what you think about it. Always interested to hear what you guys think, and that's exactly why I'm making this video, to see what you guys think, because I can't work this one out. What's gone on behind the scenes here? Is Conor McGregor going to fight again in the UFC? Is his announcement on Twitter that he's retiring young genuine? Is he never going to fight again? I hope not, because he's a very entertaining character, very entertaining fighter, and a great representative for Europe in general on the worldwide MMA scene. So get your comments in below. Let me know what you think about it. I think there's a financial misunderstanding or disagreement here, rather, between the parties of Conor McGregor and the UFC. Thanks very much for watching this video. Chuck a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. If there's any sort of sporting events or sporting headlines that I care about in the future, I may just do a random video on it like this. If you were expecting a football-related Manchester United video, I apologise, but, you know, just something I'm interested in and interested to hear what you guys think about it. So, thanks very much for watching this video. This is Mr. Flying Pig HD. Until next time, have yourself a freaking good one. Come on, my son.